Hello guys, meet again with Queen MMA. The UFC has grown and developed into the largest MMA organization in the world. These promoters have spawned many celebrity fighters who have become major pay-per-view stars, and the UFC has established itself as the dominant organization in the eyes of the general public and MMA fans alike. On the other hand, Bellator MMA has developed as the best alternative to the UFC in recent years, with many events outperforming the UFC. In the past, Bellator was famous for teaming up for contracts with senior fighters. But now, Bellator seems to have changed his strategy and realized the value of investing in a young fighter. Bellator has now produced a number of good local talents. Meanwhile, Dana White, president of the UFC, has a different view from Bellator's president, Scott Coker, about the crossover fight between the two organizations. If only that fight could happen, when Dana White agreed to have a crossover fight with Bellator. Of course it will be interesting, which will present a champion versus champion. This fight will also include some great fighters that have never been seen in the UFC before. Here are the 5 best dream crossover duels, UFC versus Bellator. But before we continue, don't forget to click the subscribe button and activate the bell, so as not to miss the latest and coolest updates from Queen MMA. 5. Jose Aldo vs Patrcio Pitbull Freire. A showdown between the two most desirable featherweights has to show if the UFC and the Bellator have a deal in a crossover duel. Many fans are certainly looking forward to the champion versus champion, but Jose Aldo vs Patrcio Pitbull Freire, no less interesting. Aldo's rise to fame culminated in a 10-year winning streak. Aldo is one of the greatest featherweight fighters of all time. He is a UFC Hall of Fame holder recognized as one of the greatest of all time. Aldo always won the WEC and UFC featherweight titles at that time. While Freire is a fighter who is synonymous with Bellator MMA and has a brilliant career on his way. Pitbull may have lost his featherweight title, but he remains one of the best featherweight boxers. In addition, after Freire moved up to the 155-pound class and defeated then-champion Michael Chandler, he went on to become the Bellator lightweight champion. Both Aldo and Pitbull have an attack-based fighting style. Aldo will almost certainly be the favorite, but it won't be surprising if Freire wins the fight. At this point in their meeting, the fight between Aldo's takedown defense against Freire's ground fighting would certainly be entertaining. 4. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson vs Michael Venom Page. The fight between Stephen Wonderboy Thompson vs Michael Venom Page at welterweight is another new addition card on this list. This is a battle that will bring joy and excitement. Fans will certainly fill the building seats if these two best strikers in MMA fight. Thompson and Page themselves are both looking to make this exciting fight to the satisfaction of fans, if they have the chance to do so. Thompson may have had stronger fights overall, but no one could doubt the MVP skills. MVP's explosive power can be a problem, as he can quickly knock down his opponent with a powerful kick or flying knee. Since takedown attempts are the most efficient technique to deal with their style, both fighters will always be on the lookout for each other. But if they were really fighting each other, it's definitely unlikely that they'd make an attempt to take it down. MVP vs Wonderboy will certainly be the most awaited and must-watch event, whether it takes place in the UFC octagon or the Bellator ring. 3. Alexander Volkanovski vs AJ McKee. Alexander Volkanovski vs AJ McKee is the most exciting and most curious cross-promotion fight on this list. No more worries about Volkanovski while defending the championship belt against Brian Ortega. In most of Volkanovski's fight records, the reigning UFC featherweight champion is in complete control of each of his fights. even though he was caught by 2 submissions that could threaten his throne in the previous fight. But both takedown attempts were avoided by the reigning champion, and then gained complete control of the battle. Volkanovski himself stated that he deserves to be considered one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. McKee, on the other hand, has risen to the top of the Bellator featherweight division in spectacular fashion. The 26-year-old fighter made his professional debut in Bellator 136 back in 2015 and has gone 18-0 since then. McKee just ended his unbeaten run by beating Patrcio Pitbull in the final of the Bellator Featherweight Grand Prix. McKee beat Pitbull with ease and simultaneously won the $1 million prize. McKee told his post-fight press conference that he is the best featherweight fighter who would beat any featherweight. Bellator president Scott Coker made similar comments, but warned that a cross-promotion fight was unlikely. Despite his belief that a cross-fight was impossible, their fight would certainly be of great interest. Two. Jan Blachowicz vs. Vadim Nemkov. The fight between UFC light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz and Bellator light heavyweight champion Vadim Nemkov is sure to be a fierce battle. Last year, Bellator president Scott Coker made remarks during a press conference that sparked controversy at light heavyweight. Following Jon Jones' announcement of switching to heavyweight division, Coker stated that the Bellator had the best light heavyweight MMA fighter in the world. In the last 2 years, Blachowicz has been outstanding. Blachowicz has beaten former UFC champion, title contender, and UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya in the last 2 years. Blachowicz demonstrated his incredible knockout power, as well as elite-level grappling skills in his 5-game winning streak. On the other hand, Nemkov's Bellator fight record is also extraordinary. Nemkov is on an 8-game winning streak and has shown great progress since he joined Bellator. Liam McGeary, Rafael Carvalho, and Ryan Bader are among the names that have been defeated, including the victory over Phil Davis up to 2 times. Bader was the Bellator heavyweight and light heavyweight divisions at the time, so Nemkov's win is noteworthy. By beating Bader, Nemkov established himself as one of the best light heavyweight boxers in the world. It will be interesting to see if Nemkov's Sambo experience can beat Blachowicz's BJJ and Muay Thai skills. One. Israel the last Stylebender Adesanya vs. Gegard Mousasi. Another crossover fight between UFC champions vs. Bellator is the fight between Israel Adesanya vs. Gegard Mousasi, who is in the middleweight division. This is an opportunity for the 2 champions who are in the middle class to show who is the best among them. Based on the trail of his previous middleweight bouts, UFC champion Adesanya might be the slight favorite in a possible fight with Mousasi. Mousasi, on the other hand, are not to be ignored. Mousasi has fought against anyone from fighters in several heavyweights and always comes out with his hands up. Adesanya, on the other hand, has tried once but failed when he stepped up to challenge Jan Blachowicz for the UFC light heavyweight title. But the defeat will not dampen Adesanya, who instead uses it as motivation. In this crossover fight, Mousasi's strategy to win is likely to be to follow in Blachowicz's footsteps by dropping Adesanya and playing ground fighting. However, if Mousasi fails to make a takedown, his defense may be exposed in a striking duel. On the other hand, in his recent win over Marvin Vettori, Adesanya looked great in improving his takedown defense. Well guys, those are the 5 best dream crossover duels between UFC vs. Bellator by Queen MMA. In your opinion, are there other fighters who are more worthy or more exciting than Bellator or UFC to do a cross-promoter duel in MMA? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, see you in another video. See ya.